Horizon Chance, Momo Rex, and this is The Mystery of the Druids, a bizarre adventure game by the channel MandaloreGaming. Most people know the Mystery of the Druids from the screaming face meme cover that's barely scratching the surface of this insane adventure game. Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen that meme. Alright. So this created the meme. The cover is not because of the meme. The cover created the meme apparently. This is the original. Oh, it's from 2001. Alright, let's watch it.
You may have seen this image before. It's the cover for The Mystery of the Druids. It's a 2001 adventure game, and this face, well, that's just the beginning. This was a long time coming. A while back I talked about Limbo of the Lost, and honestly my brain still doesn't let me accept that that was real. However, that's a game that's insane right from the get-go. You know you're in for a ride from the very beginning. Many adventure games are like that, but this one is deceptive. Because sure, you have Screaming Druid cover, which has been a joke for like, what, 20 years now? It is funny, but it's also overshadowed the game itself. On Steam it's mostly negative, but that could be because no one there can actually run the damn thing. And neither can I, because like the review said, I crash constantly and it freezes up. Luckily, GOG released a fixed version a few years back. The wording was a little strange, but they seem to be big fans of the game. Really big fans. I mean, look who was QAing it. And the second they found out I was doing this, they put it on an absurd discount and the page is all weird and... Okay, look, before all this, something seemed odd about it. So like Limbo of the Lost, I'm here to take you on a journey. After all, a cosmic horror hiding under something innocuous is perfect for Halloween. It has Dolby Surround plastered all over it too, so look forward to some great audio. In fact, some of you have been looking forward to this a little too much. So now I'll skip past the credits and begin the descent.
Okay. Oh, that's creepy.
Okay, you got all that? We're then taken to the Scotland Yard where we meet our hero and his boss. It's not clear yet what the Druids have to do with anything, but I guess that's the mystery.
Now look here, Detective Halligan. I've got used to being surrounded by a bunch of incompetent, half-baked blockheads. But your smart, well-dressed colleague Lowry has just earned himself the golden badge of stupidity. Halligan, we've got a bit of a problem.
To save some exposition time, your coworker Lowry has thrown an innocent man in jail for murder. Said man was then murdered in jail and the real killer is still on the loose. So now Detective Halligan is taking over and the chief seems furious about it. Why does he hate Halligan so much?
There's no point in asking you to clear up anything more than a common bicycle theft. But this does happen to be the murder squad. I am the chief of this department.
I guess there's a history there. Or maybe we, the protagonist, basically start all these things up that revealed the, you know, whoever put in the prison was innocent. Maybe we are the reason that came out. There's always this kind of a story where a police chief or anybody just cares about the numbers, right? The case was over. Why did you dig it up again? That kind of thing.
All I have for choice is that blockhead Lowry. You.
Okay.
Okay, Chief. What do you want me to do?
And so it begins. The first thing Chief Miller does is chastise you for not knowing Lowry's case file. This is actually a readable document. It's a PDF for the GOG version, but the physical game came with one. It's all pretty irrelevant, it just tells you that Lowry's an asshole and he got the wrong guy. We knew that already. Halligan, however, is struggling.
Well, alright, these things happen. But how do you know that the man Lowry arrested didn't commit the murders?
Very simple. Dead people don't go around committing more murders. No sloppiness now. I want results. Sensible results. The press has already been terrorizing me this morning. The killer must be found. Do I make myself clear?
Of course, Chief.
From here you properly control Halligan and it looks like your standard adventure game fare. You can click on random items to hear more information, but also click on Miller again to hear more about the case because Halligan seems clueless.
Halligan, it's well known that you'd rather read those crazy books of yours during office hours than taking any real interest in the affairs of this department. But it would now appear that you've even stopped reading the newspapers as well. For months now, a killer's been running around in London, taking victims apart and leaving nothing but bones for us to find. You can read about it.
The way he slams, our protagonist right there, I'm like, this really feels British. But yeah, it is. It's from London.
In any newspaper.
We now have confirmation that a super Zodiac killer was running around, and we're now playing a cop who had no idea about it. But he has excuses for that.
I don't pay too much attention to what the papers say.
From here you can move around and explore the station. Halligan's office seems like a good place to start, and it looks like a bomb went off. And the decor is... what?
God save the Queen. Even if she's wearing a really ugly green suit.
Okay.
What?
We also learn Halligan's a recovering smoker. That doesn't seem crazy for his job until we find out he's been smoking a carton a week. That's 28 cigarettes every day on average. Things only get stranger.
Good to know that there are intelligent life forms out there. In here, I only meet weirdos like Detective Lowry.
Well, that's what the chief meant by insane books, since apparently Halligan's been studying crop circles, along with
Okay.
other conspiracies.
John Sinclair, Ghost Hunter. My favorite book. Unfortunately, there's no pizza in there anymore.
Pizza?
Al's Pizza Palace makes the best pizza in the whole of London.
Okay, English viewers, have you ever heard anyone there natively say pizza? I'm going to guess no because this is a German game. The thing is, it's really the only word that...
Oh my god. So these are German voice actors who are acting like if they are speaking British accent or something. Damn. I like the change in this that basically our protagonist is more of a, believes in aliens and ghosts and things like that. That you usually don't come across games whose protagonist is like that. So that's kind of a different.
that gets mangled like this. A voice director out there had to be insisting on pizza. The other word they get weird sometimes is, ironically, druid. Sometimes they're druid. This is the mystery of the druids. Anyhow, Halligan grabs essentials like apple juice, a scarf he stole from a coworker he likes, and with each moment it becomes more terrifyingly clear why Miller did not want Halligan on the case.
The cleaner will empty the ashtray.
The chief had been going on about just how much Lowry screwed up the case, so let's pay him a visit. Now we can...
What? Oh, that's some bug right there.
Why is there droning ambient music? Why is he floating like Vivek? I know the obvious answer is it's some kind of bug, but it's not that simple. If I go on the store page for the game, it's a featured screenshot. These are created by, or at least approved by, developers. In other words, this is word of God, this is how it's meant to be played. Images of him in the chair are either fake or some kind of copy protection. The game has barely begun and I am already so full of questions. What is Lowry's purpose here?
Hello, Lowry.
Oh no, not you.
Alright, first of all, I mean, not necessarily. Maybe the bug was too much to get rid of. Too much effort and they didn't have, time to do it. So that fuck it, I'll just put it in. That could have been the case.
You, Halligan. You're all I need at the moment.
That's a nice suit you're wearing.
Don't humour me, Halligan. You don't know a thing about suits. A blind man would know from 100 yards away that you bought your stuff at Woolworths. What do you want?
He's here to bully Halligan.
Just a quick question, Lowry. Have you seen my wallet?
Your wallet? You've got a nerve. I haven't really had a very pleasant day so far, as you might have noticed. Why would I worry about your bloody wallet?
Larry, could you just give me a sensible answer? I'm looking for my
Where'd that
wallet.
come from?
So what? Do you think I've got it? Why don't you just go and clear up your oh-so-tidy office? Maybe you'll find some of those things you allegedly just wanted to borrow for a while.
Let's not argue, Lowry. I need some information from you about the last investigations.
You've got the file, Halligan. I suppose you can read. And now scram!
Lowry, I've read your file. There's just nonsense in it.
Do you know what I think, Halligan? I think I don't need to tolerate a detective in a £20 suit walking past my door criticising the quality of my work.
If my suit was more expensive, would that make your file any better?
Very witty, detective. Yes, really, very witty. Tell me, haven't you got anything better to do than crack jokes?
Thank you for being so very friendly, Lowry. Enjoy your spare time.
Just clear off, Halligan.
I've gotta say, besides the whole pizza thing, the voice acting and direction is really excellent. You've barely talked and you can already feel the history of the rivalry.
The intensity in the dialogues, as soon as the chief or whoever start talking like, this is done well. Usually when games, like this in 2001 especially, you just feel like, okay, the voice acting feels weird. Like, okay, like you see in the GTA 3 voice acting, how that is, and that's around the same year. So the voice acting feels good, it's all around, and I like how they try to do the British humor, right? Where they basically just, just say a sentence just to put you down because of your wardrobe or some shit like that. And all the history, basically, it just gives it unique edge. Like we're supposed to feel like, okay, something has happened in the past. What was about the wallet thing? Like, where did that come from? What does that have to do with the story? Just like, have you seen my wallet? Like, what the fuck?
You can mess around in his office for a bit and learn more about how Halligan views the world.
Books? He's got books? They're probably just for show, meant to impress the ladies.
Speaking of ladies, there is one in the office you can talk to, the one who Halligan has her scarf for some reason. You can't actually return it to her yet, but I think her neck has bigger problems. It turns out Halligan is mainly on his own and is locked out from the police information database. This is strange, but you can investigate it further. I've been abridging it, but there are several conversation options you could try out when you're talking to people, and even go back and replay the game to try new ones. In the case of Janet here, you have the option of screaming at her.
Damn bureaucracy. I need to make an inquiry, Janet, right now.
If you start shouting at me, I shall see the chief before you can count to 3. Do you understand?
Naturally, from here Halligan can start hitting on her. He does as well as you'd expect by now, but we also get a glimpse of just how unself-aware Halligan is.
Listen, Brent, I don't feel like going to a stinky cheap pub, drinking watery beer and talking about darts, pizzas and aliens.
That sounds completely fair, even off the little we know. His office is full of pizza and aliens, but does he roll with it?
Janet, what's up? Has Lowry been talking nonsense about me again?
No, Halligan, and he doesn't need to either. You talk enough of it yourself. And now, please be good enough to let me carry on with my job, okay?
I understand. Lowry has been talking about me, and you believe every word he said.
I believe only what I see, Detective Halligan. And right now, I can see a man right in front of my desk who is wasting my time.
The chief also can—
Oh my god, this is so good. Our protagonist is such a weirdo. I love it, right? It's not like some, there's always... somehow, whether it's movies, TVs or games, our protagonists always have good qualities, but is somehow battered somehow, like something bad has happened to his history or some dark aspect to it. But never have a protagonist that, some kind of a blithering idiot or just, out of touch somehow. Like, he hits on her and, even though it's not going to work, she realized that he's into aliens, pizza and shit, and he's like, Larry has been talking about me. Laurie or whatever his name is. This is so good. Holy shit, where did this game come from, right? And why didn't Seth cover it? I guess he's gonna do it in future. I love how this video is kind of recent, like a year ago? No, not a year ago. Yeah, a year ago, no, year and a half ago. And it already has near 5 million views. This is incredible.
Confirms Halligan has been locked out of the database for his own good. He darkly alludes to some business with the royal family, but doesn't go into detail on it. Only that it caused weeks of national chaos, so maybe we'll find out more later. You can stick around a lot longer, but I've had my fill of office politics for the moment. So it's off to the latest crime scene in Epping Forest. We get new, creepy ambient music. The crime appears to be another one of the infamous skeleton murders. Just like the chief said, there's nothing but bones. Halligan probes the on-site officers, but they don't know anything. No forensic evidence besides the bones, and no witnesses. So from here, all you can really do is poke around in the bones. On a meta level, it's also the first clue of what the puzzle gameplay will be like.
That is no important evidence, I'm sure about that.
You need to bag the correct bone. Can you tell yet? Well, it's the big femur off to the right. It's not too bad, could be worse, like the burnt grass you can also pick up. If there was any doubt, now the player knows for sure that pixel hunting is on the menu. That's all that can really be done here, so back to the yard. Time to bring the evidence down to forensics.
What do you think about this?
This is grass, Halligan.
You don't learn much beyond the grass is slightly burnt. I'm saving you a lot of, speculation.
Can bones get that hot in the sun?
The femur is significant, but forensics can't find anything on it that's helpful. You're then directed to visit a Dr. Turner at the Oxford Anthropology Museum. I've got to say, we do have the groundwork for a great game here. People being vaporized into skeletons is silly, but it is a compelling mystery. We've also got solid, well-voiced acted characters to work with. So far, my biggest drawback is just how ugly everything is. The characters don't look awful in the 2D backgrounds or something like that, but everything's been very drab so far. Thinking back 4 years, Ray in the Blade Runner game is wearing a near identical wardrobe to Halligan, but his animation has infinitely more life to it and the backgrounds are so rich. Halligan runs like there's something wrong with him and there's not much to the background yet. Oh well.
I mean, you can clear-cut see the difference between two games, isn't it? But well, that Blade Runner thing might have been a better studio, and it's a Blade Runner, so it's from the famous franchise, so probably had a better budget, right? I mean, the people who owns Blade Runner franchise probably spend money too, I guess.
Maybe someone else can fill us in on the database issue.
I know that you'll say no, but I have to ask for your help.
You do actually need help, Halligan. But not from me. Try a social worker. Well,
I didn't see any inquiry results from the information department in your file. Is that right?
of course. Thanks to these bloody new security regulations, which were introduced thanks to you, Halligan. If you hadn't gone and put an arrest warrant for Prince Charles in the computer after Princess Di's accident, we wouldn't be in this mess.
That was just an innocent joke.
Innocent, yeah.
Jesus, Halligan sure has a thing with the royal family, huh? Well, it's off to the museum to meet Dr. Turner, and
come on, bullshit, right? In real world, somebody does that, there would be massive blowback, right? The detective would be screwed all over, right? He would be working in some kind of a fucking traffic police job or something, managing traffic in London Zero Zone or something.
Closed. So that sucks, but looking around might yield some answers. There is a payphone on the right side of the museum, but Halligan's wallet is still missing and he has no money. It's no big deal since there are plenty of phones back at the office anyhow. Seems odd to have it though. Taking a look at the other side, there's a hobo begging for money.
Epic.
He barely has anything, but he's still richer than Halligan at the moment. It's apparent the beggar's been living a hard life.
I've lost everything. Everything. No money, no flat, no future. I'm finished. Simply finished.
Have you tried working?
Listen, mate. Do you want trouble?
Long story short, he hasn't seen Dr. Turner. You can try to barter for his change or outright...
See, whenever somebody says, have you tried working and not be such a deadweight to society? I'm like, man, can you be more fucking out of touch, right? It's not every... I mean, sure, it applies to a lot of people, right? But it's not clear cut for everybody. Every time somebody sees some beggar or something, have you tried working and get yourself together and not be a... What the fuck? Maybe it's not that clear cut, huh?
Steal it, but that's not happening. Instead, you can steal his extra flask. So it's back to the office to use the phone.
I never use the receiver. That thing is just too heavy. Using the loudspeaker is much more comfortable.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll do that.
Can't have the animation, I guess.
Oh, there we go. Oh Christ, it's a puzzle. Well, your phone is a no-go. Halligan was making tons of long-distance international calls for no apparent reason, so the department cut him off from making outgoing calls. Now the adventure really begins. No one in the office lets Halligan use their phone. Since he calls the Caribbean for no goddamn reason, I think this is justified. But it does make me wonder what he was doing. No one gives Halligan change either. He owes gambling debts to every single person in the office except for Lowry.
Could you lend me some change?
You haven't found your wallet, have you? Well, sorry, Halligan, but this is Scotland Yard, not the Bank of England.
The Bank of England is the central clearing bank, Lowry. You can't draw any money there.
Indeed. Just try it somewhere else then. You won't get a penny from me.
I don't even know why I bothered trying. I dig around the Scotland Yard for change, but I don't find any. Instead, I find bottles in the lab I can dust off and some fingerprint powder. It's not a pixel hunt, but it doesn't stick out either. Halligan notices they have bottles of medical ethanol and immediately gets jealous.
You've got a great job, Chris.
Nonsense, Halligan. Do you think we spend all day getting drunk with medical alcohol?
90%
Why don't you
ethanol.
just try this stuff?
Bet taken.
You wanna get drunk off 90% ethanol? I guess he's assuming that you would make a drink somehow from that, right? Yeah, look at that. This is your great job. You get drunk. Let me drink the 90% ethanol. Yeah, good luck with that shit.
How will it go?
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Look at his
To
face.
your health, Brent.
An interesting aroma, isn't it? Brent, aren't you feeling very well? Brent, are you sure you're okay?
The laugh is like, you idiot.
God damn it.
Now you can dust for fingerprints to show you the bottle that he said he was going to take is the one that has prints on it. I guess he's just being cautious? Then Halligan mixes it with apple juice. Halligan has poison now. Where is this going? Oh no.
I've got something for you. Apple schnapps from Detective Halligan's home distillery. My own brand.
What?
Would you like to have a taste?
You serious? All right, pal. I'm as dry as the bottom of a parrot's cage.
Why don't you drink it all? I don't mind. And it's a cracker, I can tell you.
Cheers, mister.
Cheers.
Why did we poison him?
This kills him instantly. Now you can rob the dead hobo for pocket change. Halligan has crossed the line here. I can safely say that looking at this cover, I did not expect poisoning the homeless to be a central plot point. But here we are. Admittedly, most adventure game protagonists...
This is part of the main plot, or is it something like an RPG thing? Maybe something you can do but shouldn't do it necessarily, or you have to do this. Where is this game going, man? This is getting... We are the protagonists, we are doing this shit. This is way different.
are huge dicks. It feels weird in this case because everything has been so grounded up to this point. Then again, the poisoning itself was grounded too. It wasn't a magic sleeping potion, it was a lethal dose of alcohol. This is the point where I became fully committed to the game. Not only is Halligan weird, but he seems to have no regard for human life. I have no clue what he's capable of now. Anything, really. Halligan puts his sick loot drops into the phone and can finally call the museum. The woman the late beggar mentioned...
Yeah, somebody call security for Prince Charles, I guess. Right? Since Halligan... If Halligan can kill a hobo...
Answers it.
Who are you? And why are you calling from a phone booth outside the museum? Has something happened in the street? Has the beggar been attacked again?
Who? The
Wait a
beggar?
minute, how does she know where he's calling from?
No. Well, not exactly. It's a long story and I doubt you'd be interested. I just wanted,
She rightfully hangs up. Stuck again. So it's back to the yard for answers. It turns out the woman is Dr. Turner's daughter, Dr. Melanie Turner. She didn't want to talk to you because he didn't know her.
Okay, you know what? I really have to go right now. I thought, I really didn't want to do this. Like, I don't have much time. I have to go out, right? It's just 20 minutes and videos 1 hour and 40 minutes. But what the hell? I was going to do this in parts anyway. I guess the part tomorrow will be much bigger. But yeah. So far, the game is ridiculously good, right? All the plot changes are coming. Didn't see that coming. Like, we are going to poison a beggar. Like, what the fuck? I mean, what was the reason behind that anyway? Did I miss something? Right? But this was just fucked up. Our guy is really dark, I guess. So, yeah, that's why the cover makes sense. Right? The game is going to be horror dark in a way by the end of it. Alright, well, that was the Mystery of the Druids, a bizarre adventure game by the channel Mandaloregaming. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, check the links under this link in the description, check the cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.